Well, it's pretty much ancient forests, unspoilt, muddy tracks. We've crossed a couple of rivers over little wood bridges, and now we're on a fairly steep.
From mysterious artifacts to ancient riddles, we're about to dive into the historical rabbit hole. So get ready to have your world turned upside down as we dig into some of the most mind-boggling mysteries and unexplained discoveries that could completely rewrite history. Number 3. Giants in Georgia. In early June 2014, a team of Georgian researchers went on a mission to capture essential footage for an upcoming episode of the Science Channel's popular cable program, The Unexplained Files. This episode was dedicated to exploring the age-old legends surrounding giant humans from ancient times. Upon reaching the site, the researchers discovered the remnants of an ancient, ruined structure, along with a nearby crypt-like chamber. Its roof collapsed in 2008, and it was now filled with rubble, soil, and other debris, making it difficult to spot any giants. However, a small dig in one corner of the rectangular space uncovered a substantial collection of highly old bones. While these bones appeared to be of human origin, some of them seemed unusually large, raising questions about their connection to normal, modern humans. So, the research team gathered some of the bones for further analysis and presented them to the renowned Georgian scientist, Professor Vikua, who was particularly well known for his discovery of the 1.8 million-year-old remains of Homo erectus georgicus. According to his initial assessment, if the bones were indeed of human origin, they would suggest an individual of around 8.2 feet in height. However, before any definitive conclusions could be drawn or comprehensive testing could be carried out, Professor Vikua unfortunately passed away. As a result, the bones became lost within the archives of a Georgian museum, among thousands of other artifacts and remains. Again, some researchers went on an expedition, and as they made their way towards the site, the team started to notice a number of worked stone artifacts scattered throughout the landscape. There were square-based columns and various stones that had been arranged into what seemed like destroyed walls. These walls might have once been part of structures or even burial mounds, which had deteriorated over the ages. Some stone blocks were found in the wide streams that the team crossed, suggesting that they had been washed down from a higher point when water levels were elevated. This trail of what appeared to be remnants from a lost civilization continued until they reached their final destination, which was a ruined structure positioned at an altitude of 6,000 feet on a narrow mountain ridge. The ruined structure they came across looked like a chapel or a small defensive fort. Notably, an east-west alignment was observed, hinting at the possibility that it might have functioned as a solar temple. The structure covered an area of around 1,600 square meters at most, with the roof having long disappeared and the walls largely collapsed, some of them due to the growth of large, old trees. But in the middle of the ruins, they discovered a symbol, carefully engraved into a loose stone block, which looked like a tadpole, featuring a head that appears to have been drilled with remarkable precision. Local historians say the origin of these structures were somewhere between 1,800 to 2,200 years ago. Still, the question of who constructed these structures and for what purpose continues to be a mystery, especially given their remote location, far removed from any major settlements. Number 2. Ancient UFO wreckage. Before you think this is fake, hear me out. Imagine a piece of aluminum, supposedly crafted 250,000 years ago, making its entrance into Earth. This artifact, known as the Ayud object, wasn't exactly in the spotlight until recently. It was stumbled upon back in 1973 by construction workers near the Mureș River in Romania, along with 2 other mysterious objects. Now, scientists are scratching their heads, and UFO enthusiasts are pretty psyched about it. What's the deal with this ancient aluminum piece, and why was it kept under wraps for so long? The thing is, while aluminum has a long history on Earth, we didn't really catch on to it until the 1800s. The reason? Well, aluminum usually doesn't show up in its metallic form naturally. Instead, it's typically found in rocks, clay, soil, and plants, with oxygen and various other elements. So the real origin of this artifact is still one of those unsolved mysteries. These 3 objects were buried 33 feet below ground, and when archaeologists finally got to the scene, they found 2 big bones from an ancient, long-gone creature that lived anywhere from 10,000 to 80,000 years ago. The 3rd object was a piece of handmade or manufactured metal, about 8 inches long, 5 inches wide, and 3 inches thick. Back in the day, they thought it might be a lightweight axe head. Now, when it comes to the age of this peculiar metal object, it's a bit of a puzzle. Romanian officials think that they're about 250,000 years old, but the other experts decided to put it to the test and came up with a different theory. They're thinking it could be anywhere between 400 and 80,000 years old. Number 1. Romans in America. What if I said long before Christopher Columbus set sail in 1492, the Americas had already been graced by the presence of other ancient civilizations? This could be the Vikings, the Chinese, the Phoenicians, and perhaps even the Celts. It's no secret that numerous ancient civilizations might have ventured to the Americas before Columbus's encounter with an already inhabited New World. The idea of ancient Romans reaching the shores of America 2,000 years before Columbus is undoubtedly interesting, but it remains a topic of debate and controversy among historians and archaeologists. While some have pointed to the discovery of ancient Roman coins in North America as potential evidence, the presence of these artifacts is not sufficient to confirm this pre-Columbian contact, because there's a possibility that they were introduced to the Americas by Spanish explorers who arrived with Columbus. The discovery of the small Tekahichkalixtlahuacha head with supposed Roman features in Mexico is a fascinating artifact that has sparked debates and discussions among researchers. This was found by archaeologist Jose Garcia Peon in 1933 at the archaeological site of Calixtlahuacha, located west of Mexico City in the Toluca Valley. Calixtlahuacha is known as one of the few Aztec-related urban sites with preserved architecture and stone sculptures. What makes this artifact particularly intriguing is its foreign features, which some have suggested resemble Roman characteristics. The fact that it was found under undisturbed cemented floors that predate the Aztec destruction of Calixtlahuacha in 1510 raises questions about its origin and the potential presence of foreign influences in the region at the time. Critics have questioned the validity of the artifact, and there are differing opinions on whether it's a genuine ancient artifact or a modern creation. Some have also proposed alternative theories suggesting a potential Norse or Viking connection based on its unusual headdress, which might resemble Norse headgear. Regardless of its authenticity, the Tekahichkalixtlahuacha head has sparked important discussions about the possibility of early transoceanic interactions in the Americas, making it a subject of continued interest and study. The discovery of Roman artifacts in locations such as Brazil, Venezuela, and Oklahoma also suggests the possibility of early transoceanic contact and trade routes between ancient civilizations. In Brazil, a sunken ship was discovered from the 1st century BC containing Roman urns. The presence of Roman amphorae was also found from Venezuela. These ancient vessels have been used for storing and transporting liquids, and their presence suggests that trading routes were well established. Additionally, the discovery of a concave-shaped coin with inscriptions and a portrait of Athena near the Red River in Oklahoma raises questions about potential Roman influence and presence in North America. The Latin inscription mentioning the city of Thurium, an Athenian colony in Italy, adds to the mystery of these artifacts. But still, debates continue. So, what do you think? Was Columbus the last person to discover the Americas? Was there ancient seafaring and trade networks that could have connected distant parts of the world? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys soon.